Hello everyone, today we are going to start chapter 3 Human Reproduction, that is the third chapter of Biology class 12th. In this chapter we are going to deal about human reproduction and the process of human reproduction and many more. So let's get started. First, let's discuss the content of the chapter. The male reproductive system, the female reproductive system, gametogenesis, menstrual cycle, fertilization and implantation, pregnancy and embryonic development, parturition and lactation. First, the introduction of the chapter. As you are aware, humans are sexually reproducing viviparous. We know that humans are sexually reproducing and viviparous. The reproductive events in humans include formation of gametes. The formation of gametes is known as gametogenesis, that is sperm formation in males and ovum formation in females. Transfer of sperm into the female genital tract is insemination. During sexual intercourse, when the sperm is transferred into the female genital tract, that is known as insemination, and after that the fusion of male and female gametes occurs in the female reproductive organ, that is known as fertilization, and this leads to the formation of zygote. This is followed by formation and development of blastocyst and its attachment to the uterine wall. After that, blastocysts occur and the zygote is attached to the uterine wall, and this is known as implantation. Embryonic development, gestation. After that, embryonic development takes place, and the process of embryonic development is called gestation, and the delivery of the baby, parturition, and finally the baby delivering is known as parturition. You have learned that these reproductive events occur after puberty. These reproductive events after a person attains the age of puberty. There are remarkable differences between the reproductive events in males and in females. The reproductive events that takes place in case of males and the reproductive events that takes place in case of females are totally different. For example, sperm formation continues even in old men. We just now read that reproductive events in males and females are totally different. So, for example, to satisfy this statement, an example is there, that is sperm formation takes place even in old men, it continues to take place. But formation of ovum ceases in women after the age of 50 years. Ceases means stops, but the ovum formation in the female stops after the age of 50 years, and this is when the menstrual cycle also stops, and this is known as menopause. Let us examine the male reproductive and female reproductive organs in humans. The male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. It includes a pair of testes along with accessory ducts and glands and the external genitalia. So what are the parts of male reproductive system? A pair of testes means two testes are there, accessory ducts, glands and the external genitalia. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch called the scrotum. Testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch called the scrotum. So this is the scrotum. And why do you know why it is situated outside the abdominal cavity? Because sperm formation requires a temperature lower than the normal body temperature. The scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature of the testes 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal internal body temperature necessary for spermatogenesis. The process of formation of sperm is also known as spermatogenesis. So for the formation of sperm, it is necessary that the temperature is lower than the normal body temperature, that is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than body temperature. In adults, each testis is oval in shape. The testis is oval in shape with a length of about 4 to 5 centimeter. Its length is 4 to 5 centimeter and a width of about 2 to 3 centimeter, and the width is about 2 to 3 centimeter. The testis is covered by a dense covering. Each testis has 250 compartments called testicular lobules. Each testis has 250 compartments, and these are known as these are the compartments inside the testes, and these are known as testicular lobules. Each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Each lobule has 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Inside the testicular lobule, there are seminiferous tubule, and they vary in number from 1 to 3. They may be 1, they may be 2, or they may be 3 in number inside the testicular lobule. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its outside by two types of cells called male germ cells, spermatogonia, and Sertoli cells. The seminiferous tubule is lined by two types of cell. The first one is called the male germ cell, and the second is called the Sertoli cells. Figure 3.2. Now let's have a look on figure 3.2. See. Diagrammatic sectional view of seminiferous tubule. So inside the seminiferous tubule, you can see these are the Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. These are spermatogonia. These are spermatozoa. And these are interstitial cells, Sertoli cells. Now let's get back. The male germ cells undergo meiotic division, finally leading to sperm formation. The male germ cells that line the seminiferous tubule undergo meiotic division. In meiotic division, 4 daughter cells are formed. So they undergo meiotic division to give rise to sperm. While Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the germ cells. So what is the work of Sertoli cells? They provide nutrition to the germ cell, to the developing sperms. They provide nutrition. The region outside the seminiferous tubule is called the interstitial spaces. Contains small blood vessels and interstitial cells or Leydig cells. Outside the seminiferous tubule, the space is called interstitial space, and these spaces contains interstitial cells or Leydig cells and blood vessels. Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgen. Leydig cells, the work of Leydig cells is to secrete testicular hormones called androgen like testosterone. Other immunologically competent cells are also present. Some other cells are also present. The male sex accessory ducts include rete testes, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. 3.1b. See, the epididymis vasa efferentia, related testes, and the vas deferens. These are the male accessory ducts. These four are the male accessory ducts. The seminiferous tubules of the testes open into the vasa efferentia through related testes. The vasa efferentia leave the testes and open into the epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. The epididymis leads to vas deferens that ascends to the abdomen and loop over the urinary bladder. It receives a duct from the seminal vesicle and opens into the urethra as an ejaculatory duct. These ducts store and transport sperm from testes to the outside through urethra. The urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. So this was all about the male reproductive system. No, one part is left, so let us read this also. The penis is the male external genitalia. The external genitalia of male is known as the penis. It is made up of special tissue that helps in erection of the penis to facilitate insemination. It is made of some kind of special tissue which helps in erection of the penis to facilitate insemination, for the ease of insemination. Okay, the enlarged end of the penis, called the glans penis, is covered by a loose fold of skin called foreskin. The enlarged end of the penis is covered by a loose fold of skin called foreskin. The male accessory gland include paired seminal vesicle, a prostate, and a paired bulbourethral gland. Secretions of these glands constitute the seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. The secretion of the bulbourethral glands also help in the lubrication of the penis. So the secretion of the bulbourethral glands help in the lubrication of the penis. Secretion of these glands constitutes seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. So seminal vesicle, prostate, and bulbourethral gland secretion are rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzyme. So let's take a look at the diagram. This is the foreskin. It is a loose fold of skin. Glans penis. Foreskin. This is the foreskin. This is the glans penis. And it was all about the male reproductive system. We have completed the male reproductive system. In the next video, we will start with the female reproductive system. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.